Nice to be all on a beautiful, beautiful day after we had some cold weather. So I hope everyone can see me. I'm outside today. Looks a little dark, but I think we'll make it. Okay. All right. Welcome. Welcome. So today we will be reading the Keys of Enoch. I forgot to bring the book, but if you follow my ministry, you know I read from this book a lot. It is why I love this book is because everything I get from my inner self and inside my head, it just makes sense when I read this book. It put into words what I'm thinking. And there's not a lot of book out there when you get ideas from the universe that can back up what you're saying. So we'll be reading from the Keys of Enoch. And as this ministry is called Deep Ministry, we go deep. I didn't even, when I started this channel, I didn't know the depth I'm gonna go, and even the my depth today, I know I'm gonna keep going deeper and deeper because, as the scripture always telling us, there's higher heights and deeper depth. There's no one way to this divine universe, to this source, this what we call God. There's no one way. So we're gonna go deeper into the keys of Enoch today. And please remember, we're living in a wonderful time. Um, in Revelation, it's Revelation. And right now, we're coming out of the seals being broken. Seal 6 and seal 7. I think we're into seal 7 being broken. And if you, I did a live already about the seals, the seven seals. It's talking about the time that we're living in now. And I think we're in the seventh seal when the Bible, Revelation talk about the coming of the Christ. And it's the coming of the divine power. You can call it the Holy Spirit. I can't read the seventh seal without thinking about what happened in the upper room, the pouring out, the pouring out of the Holy Spirit. This is a time we're going to where this world should be ruled spiritually. And so this today we're going to go into the Exodus. So now you see the Bible going in, coming into life. If you're gonna take the Bible literally and think the Exodus only happened to the children of Israel sometimes ago, the Exodus been happening. So we're going into the Exodus now, where the separation after the seventh seal is open, the pouring out of the Holy Spirit, the seventh seal, I'm telling you, and the day of Pentecost is the same thing. It's the same thing. The day of Pentecost and the seventh seal broken. It's the same thing. It's the pouring out of the Holy Spirit. All right. So now that's happening. Now we're going to go into the Exodus because this earth is going to rise. And that's the part of the Bible possible talking about caught up in the air or whatever. But this earth is going to be in the going up a few dimensions as we go into the reading today. And depend on where you are. It seems that there's going to be three aspects. Either you reincarnate again to another three-dimensional world because you haven't um, grown, you haven't understand who you are, you haven't learned your lessons. And those are for those who are stuck in the three-dimensional world. You see this as God and this negativity as a sign of God, and you're looking something for outside of yourself. So this is where the separation's got to take place. And you have those of us in the middle, where we're not there to go on to different light yet. We still need more training and more teaching, and these things gonna happen. It's coming. And then you have those who have totally ascended this world. They know they're divine beings. They've been going within, doing the work within. Don't looking for Christ to come through the clouds to help them, and know that the buck stop here. That the God within, we have never left His presence, and He's working within us. So we can't decide who's going to go where and who's going to go where. As we read today, we're going to notice that there are, I'm hearing recorder cells. This is a high-tech earth, that everything we do is recorded. The energy is sensed every day, through the pyramids. It's through the pyramids and all over, so we can the higher evolutionary beings can understand if we're ready to transcend, and where we're lacking, and where we need to grow. I think that was that was put in place so that we're not constantly in a place of lack. We're divine beings, and we need to grow. We need to grow. Okay. So guys, I'm outside, and so we're gonna hear the planes and all the stuff coming by. Yes, and again, I'm reading The Keys of Enoch, and by J.J. Hurtak. Please, you can find it. I bought mine a long time ago, and someone tell me that they're now $70. I'm glad for the person who recommended a long time ago, and I've been reading it a while. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going into the keys of Enoch. So the key 309, and if you have the keys of Enoch, please, key 309. You could go back and read it for yourself. PDF is not available online. You have to buy the book. And let me just go in a brief description of this book. This is Enoch, was shown just like how John was shown. Enoch was shown the end time. So this keys of Enoch lines up with Revelation, with what John saw and what he saw. Just like John was showing what was, and Daniel showed what was coming in the end times, so Enoch was also shown by divine light beings also. And so when you read this, you'll match it up with the scriptures. You'll see how it lines up with John, and it also goes back and forth. It only deals with the Bible, so but it's a deeper understanding of what the Bible is saying. So key 309 refers to the reality of new biological systems merging within their parent models of intelligence in living biosatellite cities of light. In this process of space-time overlap, the thricefold nature of the human experiment is placed in direct conjunction with the Council of Nine as we move two or more dimensions beyond this present dimensional set into the dimensions of higher evolution. So to understand this, you have to understand there are higher evolutionary beings, as we know Christ were, Buddha were, and Muhammad were, who we call Melchizedek, who we call Michael. Those are higher ever Enoch. Those are and some names that we all know. Some people mentioned as the Ancient of Days. They are higher evolutionary beings. So, and their councils that determined when it's time for Earth or other universe to expand and probably even not. So this is our time. This is the time that we're in, and other religions speak about this. I think it's every 3,600 years this happened. That it's like and it's not at the end. It's like you take a test and they see how we're evolved. If we're evolving, if we're not evolving, what's happening, they know nothing is secret. What's taking place in our realm, they know that higher beings live here with us, and we are not living as the gods we are. We're not living to our potential. We are basically living as a slave race. We are gods living as a slave on this planet. The truth has been hidden. The truth has been buried. So those are the things that's going to take place at this time, where the higher evolutionary beings, some people, they call them brotherhoods of lights, they call them the Ancient of Days. They know it's time for Earth time um to move up, because the energy, everything is measured by energy, vibration, and frequency. We have not evolved. If you ask me, we are going lower and lower and lower, because we're in a system. We not that we were placed in a system, but we are natural beings, and we're living in an artificial realm, really. We're living as artificial beings, and we're natural beings. We and the trees and everything is one. But this earth, as we saw in Genesis, I think that there are beings that was thrown here, and they have knowledge of the consciousness, and they have knowledge of the cosmos, and they use that knowledge to enslave us by us giving them our divine energy to do the things they want to, while we keep in bondage. And that we have to know. That's why when you put your trust in governments and people in authority, you have to know that you're not putting your trust in people who have your best interest. Okay? So the Council of Nine, as we move to two or more dimensions. So we're in the third dimension. So now we're going into the fifth dimension, beyond this present dimensional set, into dimensions of higher evolution. So we're going higher. So just imagine what that means. We're in 3D, and we're going to go to 4 or 5D evolutionary, higher evolution. So that means cell phone is a no-no. All this that we see and what we do here, these are artificial. We're naturally telepathic beings. We don't use cars. We use portals. They're using them in this realm, but we don't have knowledge of it. Telekinesis. We're just everything. We're just gonna think about things and it happens. We're going into higher evolutionary states. So the higher field of consciousness will be like a biosatellite technology, which will come down into the Earth's field. It will be synchronized with the 12 time warps throughout the planet. And as I understand this, I didn't get to check this one. I didn't get to check out, but according to the keys of Enoch, Earth planetary system as 12 planets. 12. We've been only told about 9 or some or 8 or whatever, but it's 12 planets. So so the higher field of so what's going to happen, it says the higher field of consciousness will be like a biosatellite technology which will come down into the Earth's field. It will be synchronized with the 12 time warps throughout the planet. People who understand the visitations of higher intelligence will be moved into these safe areas or chambers of the earth, which will be open. They will be delivered through the arc of light. So this is another thing. Don't think we have Ark of the Covenant, Ark of the Light, Ark of Light. These are divine transportation, because a lot of cultures believe that Christ left this earth. Christ didn't die, or even if he died, he left this the world through the Ark of the Covenant. I know when you read the Bible, you see it as physical. You see the Ark of the Covenant as physical. So with the Ark of Light, people gonna be delivered. The bio satellite technology will come down on Earth's field, will merge into Earth's field, and there's a lot of people out there having visions of 3 suns and 2 suns coming in. There's energy coming into the earth to help this exodus, and there's safe areas around the world that we don't know of, because I know in my meditation I've been hearing of sarcophagus, and I'm like, and all I know about sarcophagus is like tombs. So there are areas, especially under the pyramids or under pyramids. Those are safe areas where people is going to be transported. That's where I go to the Bible where it says 2 will be in the bed, 1 will to be taken out, and the other one, you know. So this is the time we're going into. Okay, so where was that? Let me start over 3. So people who understand the visitation of higher intelligence will be moved into these safe areas or chambers of the earth, which will be open. They will be delivered through the arc of light thrown upon the face of the earth by higher evolution. The arc of light is the arc of salvation, which is connected with Noah, Moses, Jataka, and all the great lords of light that have spoken on how the ark is. We talk about Noah's ark, and we see it as a boat. So it's telling you really that what we call Noah's ark at that time can be really an ark of light. And I don't want to talk about other people's belief, but whatever your belief is, it's just your level of consciousness. So it's up to each and every one of us to know that whatever you believe, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just where you're vibrating at. So the ark that we're talking about, and it's the same ark as Noah's ark. It's the same ark as Noah's ark. So the ark is going to send its light down. And it says it's the same ark as Noah, Moses, Jataka. I thought Jataka was a place. And all the great lords of light that have spoken of how the ark is an ark that connects with meridians. That's connect with meridians of light within the meridian. The light will protect you and enable those who are there to spiral through that meridian of light into higher systems of space-time continuum. And we hear about meridians. Remember that this earth has grids. This earth has grids, um, areas of energy that keeps this earth going. We have ancient grid lines that I don't remember. And if anyone has was taught this in school, let me know, because I learned this after school. There's energy lines just as within, so without. Just we have energy aspects in our chakra system. The earth has the same thing. We are connected to this earth. It's one source, one creator. All right. So so they're going to use these energy centers to move people in safe areas around the earth. And it said, through this couplings with the city of light, man will take an exodus from the physics of the earth, which is exemplified in the pyramid. And I had to take a second take with this, because I never put much thought into the pyramids. The pyramids, and the way they work or anything. I know they weren't built by us, but it seems as if these pyramids lined up with even the stars. With even the stars. That triangle shaped thing goes way down in the earth. Because when I was trying to see what sarcophagus means, it mentions things underneath the pyramids, deep down under the pyramids. So through this couplings with the city of light, with the light coming in into the earth, man will take an exodus from the physics of the earth, which is exemplified in the pyramid. At the time of this great interplanetary, and it's not only affecting Earth, it's affecting other planets. At the time of this great interplanetary exodus, Earth man will be taken to the throne of the next universe. And the Bible also talks about the throne a lot, especially in Revelation. Yes, in Revelation, the throne of God and all this. So at this time of this great interplanetary exodus, through this light, um, Earthman will be taken to the throne of the next universe. The throne stands for the central control of a given universe. And as the universe expands, the space of our local universe is augmented, so that we, in being taken to the throne, discover that we participate in the ascension of our universe as we collectively become the next universe. So the throne we talk about in church so many times. It's the central control. It's the control. It's where the universe is controlled. Especially, let's talk about Earth. Um, that's the control area for Earth. That's what determined the energy, vibration, frequency that is inside the Earth. How are we growing? How are we evolving? Who is gonna go where, and how uh who is gonna send to the fifth dimension, who is gonna reincarnate. That's the control area. So we participate in our own ascension. So remember, we are the master of our own universe. It's not the devil, it's not the pastor, it's you. How are you vibrating? How is your energy? How is your frequency? You know? So we participate in this ascension. The three dimension, we're living in the three dimension. So the three-dimensional universe that will inherit the spatial paradigm we are now leaving behind will be connected to our throne like a seed to a seed to a sieve tube. And this, let me think, this is what we are. We are right now, what this is describing is us. This is what all we are. We are attached to a universe. So as Earth leaves, there's another three-dimensional. I'm not gonna say. Is it Earth? I'm not gonna say Earth, but there's another three-dimensional universe that's gonna come in and takes Earth's place. So if we're reincarnating, we're coming back to that three-dimensional universe. We're not coming back to Earth. So as this Earth leaves, then something is going to takes its place. So I'm thinking, so as say Earth goes to the fifth dimension, then something is leaving from the fifth dimension to and going somewhere else, and we're taking that space. Okay. So if you think well, this is Earth, no, you're not coming back to Earth. Wonder what that avatar is going to look like. This is our earthly avatar. So that new 3D dimension that's coming in, it's probably your avatar probably look like a fish, or your avatar probably looks like a snake, or your avatar probably looks like a tree. You know, what is going to be your avatar in that dimension? Because it seems like each universe have a different avatar. Remember, we're consciousness, we're energy. We just that transfer every time we reincarnate on a planet. Okay. All right. So yeah. So this is what Earth is like now, just a little three-dimensional world attached to connected to a throne, like a seed on a sieve. That's what we're not now. So we're growing and we're expanding, and something else is going to replace this. And as we are taken to the throne, the Lord will call his children forth to inhabit the heaven which their soul has sufficiently prepared for. Consequently, not all the children of God will ascend to the same star systems. Not all the children of God will ascend to the same star system. Where will the others go? So some people will go to, it depends on your vibration and frequency. Some people, what they call heaven, what they call the Bible called heaven, and some people is gonna go to other star system based on your energy. We reap what we sow, based on how you're vibrating. In nowhere on in this book does it mention hell and fire and brimstone or anything like that. Nothing like that. That was just a fear tactic for us to worship something outside of ourselves. And even though the Bible tells us all the time, God didn't give us a power of fear. It never gives us fear. Tells us all the time, He doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love and of sound mind. All right. So some is going to go to heaven. Some will ascend in bodies. So some people is going to ascend in spirit, and some people is going to ascend in bodies. So some will ascend in bodies of light to spiritual planets, while others will keep their physical form and be transferred. Ah. So some will ascend in bodies of light to spiritual planets, while others will keep their physical form. You'll keep your avatar. And some will ascend in bodies to, and we mean bodies, we're talking about this avatar based on to different planets and take on the avatar of that planet. And some will ascend in their physical bodies, like, oh, we are now in this earth, and be transferred to by biosatellite cities to advanced kingdoms. So some is gonna be transferred to biosatellite cities to advanced kingdoms. Advanced kingdoms of the physical, spiritual domain. So some people is gonna be in like the mixed. So it seems like some spirit, body, some's gonna go spiritually without the body. Some's gonna go with the body of that universe that you're gonna go to, and some is gonna go physically. So that's how, and there's a not, and some who is gonna have to die and reincarnate on the new three-dimensional realm. So that's what's gonna take place. That's what Enoch was shown. This is what Enoch was shown as we go through this Exodus. As we go through this Exodus. So this key speak of events that will take place during the ascension when man experiences in his physical form the higher evolution. So the physical ascension, oh, stop. So the physical ascension to new levels of galactic and interstellar experience is first preceded by an appraisal made by higher evolution of a complete round of biogenesis experienced by several planetary models. This is done through sophisticated high-speed data transfer system controlled by spacecraft. Controlled by spacecraft. So just what this is saying, that this physical ascension to new levels, it's like an appraisal, it's like a review, it's like an observation of what's been taking place in our realm. And made by the higher evolutionary bodies, the planets, and then they decide who's going to go and where's going to go, and they decide the fate of everything. So they've been watching us. And how do they watch us? This is done through sophisticated high-speed data transfer systems controlled by spacecraft. When technology is detected as having solid state properties governing life functions associated with cells, cellular subunits, and cellular products, a light signal from the vehicle screens the technology to see whether it is in harmony with the action potential of the surrounding planetary environments, or whether it is a technological cancer outbreeding natural life forms. So this is probably the test that was done upon Earth. And I can see where Um, just by me living here and my eyes been opened for the past 5 or so years, um, this technology that they're giving us, it's like they're giving us breadcrumbs, are giving us the end of the bread, and they use the good part of the bread. It's like you kill a cow and they give us the head and the feet, and they use the best part. So this technology, and we think we're so advanced. This is not advancement. This is not advancement because some of these technologies is causing illness. These data mining centers and all that is generating a lot of electricity that's not good for our bodies. So we're not living as long as we're supposed to. So that's why this intervention has to take place. Whether you want to believe it or you see this video, you'll be like, you know what, this lady's talking a lot of hush posh. It doesn't matter if you believe it. We're at a time where we're not evolving. Our children come into this earth and they come to help us. And what we do, we beat indoctrination into them. We beat the system into them. They come from higher realms to help of this world to evolve. And we are so indoctrinated by the things of this world that we can't see that. And we force this system into them. And so we're never growing. They come to show us that we're telepathic beings. They come to tell us that they come to show us that electricity is in the ethers all around us. We are electrical beings. We don't need to pay for Wi-Fi and electricity, and we don't allow them to grow. God forbid if one day they say they're not going to school because we think school is all that. I'm not saying school shouldn't be it, but after a while, I don't know what school does because we're still connected to the all-knowing source, and we can't figure out stuff by ourselves. We just have been taught not how not we just have been taught um just not to think for ourselves. We've been taught to follow, do what we're told, do what everybody's doing. The goal is to be free thinkers and let us get all the information pouring into the realm. Why do you think other people are successful? Right now, what they're doing, they're using our ancestors' technology and giving it to other people and tell me, you're going to tell me Tesla create this and Tesla create that. And you know that's lie. You give Tesla the information to sell it to us. Nothing is new under the sun. And we say we're so religious and certain stuff we totally ignore in the Bible. These are technology that was already here. We know it. We just have to remember how to do it and how to work. So when you have someone who remember how to use water and run their car, they disappear. Everyone disappear once. It's just that we're remembering. We've been incarnated on this planet. We know that whatever they're showing is BS. And this money system, this money system. Oh my gosh, don't let me start it on that. All right, let me get back to this. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's telling us, oh, that they have spacecraft that monitor us and see if technological cancer is outbreeding the natural life forms. So obviously something's happening on our Earth while we have to ascend. You know, we see people and we think they're natural, they're just like us. Kendrick Lamar says they're not like us. And if technology called cancer I was just watching Autodidactic, and they're talking about that salt water is not natural. Salt water is not natural to our realm. Salt water, they think, I know our realm was terraformed, is used, that's what AI needs salt water. AI needs salt water. So if technological cancer is outbreeding natural life forms, in most instances, these spacecraft are thinking computers, measuring everything from metazone stages of growth to complex brain cluster intelligence on the edge of galactic disk. In some advanced stages, they report on the progress of the program used in the various biological houses, determining what physical beings can connect with higher space brotherhoods. This connection allows for complex biological changes, involve critical decisions of overlapping spectral lines and physical um, gradient, grade, and physical gradations. And this is just telling us how the brotherhoods, higher space brotherhoods, higher divine intelligence, higher evolutionary beings, you know, our realm as seems like it's been monitored because we have to grow. If we don't grow, the rest of the universe doesn't grow. We have to grow. Therefore, before this can be done, the brotherhoods who are connected with the seraphims must consult the Omega Minus program from the treasury of thought forms housed in Companion, I think, with Chrono. I don't know how I did this. Okay. So the seraphim, I remember reading this night, must consult the Omega Minus program and the treasury of thought forms housed in Companion. I think it's chrono monitors. And this is what chrono monitors are. The chrono monitors is turned the probe quality, the species, by reading pyramidal. I don't know how I scanned that so poorly. Okay. All right, let me get the book. Okay. These planes are busy today. So we start from 16. Therefore, before we can be done, um, the brotherhoods who are connected with the seraphim must consult the Omega minus program from the treasury of thought forms housed in companion chrono monitors and thought forms. Um, one thing we don't realize how much and I did a video on this, how much we think, how much we think, because um, our thoughts are conscious. Our thoughts are conscious and they take a life of their own. They just don't have bodies. So we have to be mindful of our thoughts. Our thoughts um with good emotion can create something. So that's why we tell everyone that we create the life that we have. We're creating this life that we're experiencing right now. So the chrono monitors in turn probe quality, the species, by reading pyramidal mesogrids on planets. So again, we back to the pyramids, and just imagine the energy centers. Are they energy centers that monitor our vibration and our frequency on the planet? These grids collect and store information on biological subsystems, biomes, ecosystems, geological evolutionary cycles, and make use of noise, globe, pressure moving through the planets to collect data on all physical laws pertaining to the brain clusters. This information is interpreted and transmitted to the co-creators behind given super galaxies, local universe, and interdimensional universe. So it seems as if there's just a source on our planet that's transmitting information to different galaxies and different universe. When species biosignals indicate severe distress/disaster, a message signal of deliverance is sent out from the chronomonitor, which demonstrates characteristics of a control system with identifiable input-output transducer mechanism. When the message is received, the biosatellites, which are stationed in different spectral regions, help the physical species move from place to place in the universe to avoid dying as their biological houses wear out. So, is this what's happening for us? Happening to us? Is the pyramid sending a call of distress and disaster? And we would never know it. Some of us will know it because you could feel the frustration of people here on earth, what they're going through, you know? And so if what could prompt a distress calls when maybe when the energy on the earth is so low? So when this stress call goes out, then the biosatellites, as I remember we mentioned before that the biosatellites is like an um, arc of light coming down and transport people to safe areas on the planet or in the universe. Okay. So when the message is received, the biosatellites, which are stationed in different spectral regions, help the physical species move from space to space in the universe to avoid it dying as their biological houses wear out. And this flesh is the biological house. And what would cause our biological house to wear out? This food that we're eating, those cell phone towers, our cell phones, this technology, which is just electric, electric, electric. Mm? The vaccine. Mm? Depending on the number of different types of intelligence and what the intelligence may require for the next cycle of growth. Example, acquaintance with a parallel physical system for transfer of data, acquaintance with extraterrestrial or extragalactic source, direct work, or existence in other dimensional realities, etc. The thinking chrono monitor assesses the needs of a planetary system and either produces alterations in the functions controlled by this system or relays pertinent information to hierarchical channels. So that's what the chrono monitor does. Behind the biosatellites and chronomonitors are levels of physical extraterrestrial beings who are continually qualifying for service in seraphim ranks of biosatellite worlds by the way they supervise the consciousness of planetary societies. When galactic emergencies arise, I think we're probably in a galactic emergency. When galactic emergency arises, a data transmission system capable of sensing trauma and initiating and controlling the repair process may call forth biosatellites, which are used to relieve various planets of overcrowding, increasing pollution, planetary wars, and energy shortages connected with programs of biological failure. So, are we in a galactic emergency? Or is our planet overcrowding, pollution increasing, planetary wars, energy shortage? Mm? As at this time, the biosatellites working with the Brotherhood of Light in the F8 to K2 spectral range are being prepared to deliver man from his own path of destruction and from the negative commands that are issuing from independent intelligence, not serving the office of the Christ. Not serving the office of the Christ. Huh? Every day we're complaining, no, the government's not doing this and the government's not doing that. It's intentional. These intelligence often operate as poachers, violating man's free will. Violating man's free will. Hmm? That's what's happening. They're violating our free will. So that's why this ascension has to take place. This exodus has to take place. These negative brotherhoods, under the control of angelic princess Gadriel. This, I have to look who Gadriel is. I have to look who is. So these negative brotherhoods, those who are violating man's free will. We're free to travel. We're free to go where we want to go. We're free to live everywhere, anywhere we want to live in. We are not supposed to be paying for this land that's been given to us freely. Who are these people who came here and think they have the power to violate our free will? So let's tell you who they are. These negative brotherhoods under the control of the angelic Princess Gadriel. Gadriel. I know that's why they call the word God all the time. God, 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 the true God. You are God. The true God live within you. We're not supposed to worship in anything outside of self. God real, regal, and negative angelic commanders have filled our area of the local universe. Listen to this. They have filled our area of the local universe with non-Adamic intelligence, non-Adamic intelligence having an anterior beard brain, paired appendages with both robot and no robot guides. They are non-Adamic beings. And I'm wondering if they are clones. What this book is telling us that the natural beings are less. We do not have a lot of real people here on Earth. We have a lot of clones and bots, and I see people calling them NPCs. People calling them NPCs. So that's why a distress call has gone through the universe. There's not a lot of natural beings here on the earth. And I think these people, not unnatural, non-Adamic beings, are in high places. Are your governments, are your supervisors, are your those people in authority. Because now more than ever, you'll be like, that doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? And that's not good for the universe. That's not good for Earth. Okay? So I'm going to read verse 24 again. These negative brotherhoods under the control of angelic princess Gadriel, Ragel, and negative angelic commanders have filled our area of the local universe with non-Adamic intelligence, having an anterior brain, paired appendages with both robot and non-robot guides. Events associated with the landing of negative biosatellites and the war between the non-Adamic space intelligence and the brotherhoods using positive biosatellites. Okay, now my thing is better. Using positive biosatellites under the commands of Michael will be preceded by astronomic signposts. Vehicle squadrons stationed over important city of the world will be seen motivating humanity to seek out spiritual answers to life. Mm-hmm. So this is um there's a war taking place. There's a war taking place because you have the negative biosatellites and you have the ones that work for the higher evolutionary beings that's trying to save our planet, trying to fight it out or whatever. I don't know if fight it out under Michael. Under Michael, let me start this again. So events associated with the landing of negative biosatellites and the war between non-Adamic space intelligence and the positive brotherhoods using positive biosatellites under the command of Michael will be preceded by astronomic signposts. Vehicle squadrons stationed over important cities of the world will be seen motivating humanity to seek out spiritual answers to life. So they too, think about it, they too have biosatellites. They too have biosatellites. So, and working against us, but the real Michaels under the command of Michael biosatellites will be trying to tell people, I don't know how they'll be doing it. Seek out the spiritual aspect to life. Don't sit there and beg and say you don't have. You are divine beings. Okay? Global communications throughout the planet will be interrupted. And I did a video on my channel about the upcoming darkness. I did a video about the upcoming darkness, please, as I saw in my meditation. And this is why they have taught us, and I know for me, I'm speaking for myself, and I know some people who never scared of the dark. Some people never scared of the dark, but growing up, I was scared of the dark. The dark is it, people. The darkness is it. And it's coming. And it's nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of. It's where we're going to have to use our true talents, our spiritual talents to survive. The Bible tells us about it. It's coming. So it has to come. So this false grid, these non-Adamic beings, that's their judgment. They can't survive under the darkness. And you know, when I started now that the nighttime, this world is upside down. Nighttime, there's so much power at night. Is when I was in school, I used to excel at nights. I could write a ton of essay at night. Don't be scared of the darkness. And in my meditations, whoever was it, is it my higher self, my guides, whatever, was showing me still plant, still do everything. You don't need the sun for things to grow. We shouldn't be in a panic. When the darkness comes, it has to come. So we can communicate telepathically. We can use the portals to still move around. We can see the gods that we are during this darkness, during this time of darkness. And the fake grid, the fake light, the fake power, the fake Wi-Fi, the fake electricity, those things gonna die up. Some people gonna cry for it and want to go back for it, but there's choice. But remember, you reap what you sow. So, and this is saying the same thing. I did that video before reading this, and this is telling you plainly, global communications throughout the planet will be interrupted. You have to, the main thing, I know we used to have radios or whatever. You can either communicate telepathically or get one of those radios. You put them on the right channel and you could hear. That's where we're going to go back to. Because this fake grid has to be destroyed. Paying for light, paying for water, working 9 to 5, all this fake grid, fake. It's just energy harvesting. Okay, remember that. The entire throughout the planet will be interrupted. The light workers will begin to use telethought communications. So there are people gonna be centered around the world that's gonna be there to remind you not to panic. The information's gonna come through to them for the next step. Do this, do that, do that. This is where we're going through. Don't be panicking when you don't have the luxury of this world. And Orion will be reorganized as the gateway connecting the activities of the constellations in our galaxy with those of the greater Father universe. Oh, and there will be a new unity of planetary signs and spiritual truth. Spiritual truth. No more fakery. No more Jesus, serve Jesus and worship Jesus. All the lies, all the lies. According to Metatron, large biosatellites up to 50 miles in length and 12 miles in diameter will come to our planet. They're probably here. We can't even see them. With, so they're going to be cloaked probably until it's time to reveal themselves. Can you believe that? And if you meditate, anyone who meditates already saw this. The first time I saw a ship in my meditation, I was like, oh my gosh, huge, humongous, humongous. So these ships are probably here, but they're cloaked. Okay. The ships are probably here. So they're coming. Let me read this again. According to Metatron, large biosatellites of up to 50 miles in length and 12 miles in diameter. Just imagine that. Will come to our planet. They will house the millions of immigrants that will proceed to other physical planets. Their amenities include crystallized environment, which can change the atmosphere to suit the physical occupants. Wow. Some biosatellites contain whole living environments that will take the place of planetary environment, and the occupants are being that the take the event that the occupants are being removed from. The physical biosatellites use special fields. Spiritual biosatellites use special fields of magnet, magnet or hydrodynamics to move them into a geosynchronous orbit within a given solar system. Here, multiple planets can be attended to and instructed simultaneously by the biosatellites. By modulating multiple radiation belts in direct relationship to multiple south poles on biosatellites, a special orbital vibration is created, which is used to maintain the biosatellite's operations with respect to the planet. And this is just describing how the biosatellites work and the environment inside and outside of the ship. So covering the exterior of the oh stop. Covering the exterior of the vehicle are bioorganisms, which make continuous repair to the exterior covering and provide for thermal changes while going through the energy envelopes of different star systems. This is just giving you, this is what Enoch saw. This is what Enoch was shown of what the ships look like. It was going to transfer the people to a different planetary system. So special planets that has no radiation fields are selected for metallurgy and mining special minerals from motherships that are from 25 to 50 miles in length. These ships are constructed out of a pattern of concentric atoms and can withstand maximum spectral irradiation. Okay. This is just telling you about the motherships. Everything, let me tell you what people call conspiracy theory, because if it's coming is revealing. Because if you had asked me a couple years ago about motherships, I'll probably think you're drinking or smoking something. And look, we're reading today, and I've seen them. And I haven't seen them physically in my meditation. I just happened to see it. I didn't understand it, but it was so huge. And with our physical eyes, we only see 0.02%. So we don't know if these ships are already here or if they're already in our solar system. And remember, they're cloaked. When they come to our atmosphere, they are cloaked. You might see clouds, and that's a ship out there. We do not know. Until it's the right time, I guess they'll reveal themselves. Let's talk about the food on the ships. Abundant food is created by reprocessing various soil nutrients through a change in light environment, with which products whatever food is necessary for physical survival. Through a blue-green light conversion process, the planet phase is bypassed and the food staple is created immediately. Wow. Here, a soil-like nutrient is mixed with seed in order to rapidly produce whatever organic substance is necessary. In addition, this soil-like nutrient can be continuously used over and over again for other food items. Okay. However, most higher evolutionary races live off of light, which they synthesize for their energy supply, which is pulsated into them from a regenerating light environment. Yeah, so people, higher evolutionary beings and races, they don't eat food as we do. They use light, energy. Energy is their food. Okay. These physical stepping stones are more these physical stepping stones to more complicated consciousness time zones do not have harsh and metallic interiors. Rather, they are verdant as the loveliest terrain on the planets in trapezium, Orion, and some even contain mountain ranges. They contain artificial seas, so their seas aren't real, which flow throughout the biosatellite by means of cylindrical conduits. The generating water environment purifies the living environment by running through crystalline ducts and atmospheric ceilings, which are sustained by photon walls. Special marine life can live in axis meridians where there is no gravity. They are used to create energized particles, which are transferred to the oceans of spoiled planetary biospheres through a purple membrane which transfers photons into converting waste into food and power. Here, the purple membrane receives light during a series of energy exchange, which is stored in the form of ATP. Remember ATP in cells, guys? To power, to form ATP to power itself. So ATP is a form of energy for cells. The membrane turns the photons into interchangeable interchemical energy, which empowers new life functions on levels of recombination through the decay and degeneration of matter. So, yeah, so this is just going to show us um, the transfer take place and how these ships work. Nothing is waste. I really do. At other places, they don't poop and pee. Everything is turned back. As we do, everything is turned into energy, which the body uses, which the body uses. So, the program 8033 minus 45 provided Israel with all of its potential beauty. And Israel is not a place, Israel is a people. Israel is a people. It's it's not a special group of people. I think everybody on earth, Adamic beings, I should say, on earth, um, can be called Israel. So the program 8033-45 provided Israel with all of its potential beauty as a model for millions of spiritual colonists who could create out of planetary waste a verdant, paradisical community. The community was to serve as a model for spiritual resurrection for thousands of similar biosatellite communities preparing for other planetary worlds. All who fail to maintain the highest degree of spiritual love and service to the Father are removed through the incarnation code, the Omega Plus program, and incarnated on the local physical planets where spiritual physical synthesis must be achieved for the grounding of destructive energies. So what this is saying, this Israel program, this was our program, guys. This Israel was the program for this earth. It was supposed to serve as a model for spiritual resurrection for thousands of similar biosatellite communities preparing for other planetary worlds. You know, all who fail to maintain the highest degree of spiritual love and service to the Father are removed through incarnation code. Mm, 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 mm. So a lot of people say they don't believe in incarnation. Oh no, this is not our is Israel is we moving. We're gonna be so the biosatellite is preparation. We're gonna be those who are gonna be on that biosatellite is preparation to um go to other planetary worlds. It's like you're stuck between. So you're going to be on that biosatellite until you're ready to go to another planetary world. So if you fail to evolve while you're on that ship, while you're on that planetary world, you will be reincarnated to one of the lower programs, probably the program that's replacing Earth, and then start again. Okay, so that's what biosatellites does. They prepare you for another to be on a planetary world. The reprogramming Legion ships and motherships carry autonomous day and night environments, which are created by their unique environmental architecture. The environment is sustained by the axis of the vehicle being oriented towards a parent star, and light is divided from the darkness by vast planets of sparkling synthesized metal attached outside the vehicle at an angle. These solar mirrors reflect sunlight in through the windows to create the day and can be adjusted to control its length, which also determines the program climate and seasonal variations. Mm. When the series of window-like circular mirrors are moved, the angles at which the sunlight reflects off the vehicle give the appearance of stationary light in the sky. As in the time of the prophet Elijah, the sun can appear motionless in the sky. When the mirrors close, night is created aboard the vehicle. Within the medical environment of the Legion ship, this this cooperated forms can be regenerated and resurrected by the right omega minus threshold code. Oh, wow. These are advanced gifts reserved for the physical elect who have proved worthy of the kingdom of the Father and who have been preserved in physical bodies to work with the technology of the higher evolution. Some will be gardeners and caretakers of the earth's Some will be gardeners and caretakers of the earth and the regions of the lower heavens. And when the harvest is proclaimed, the righteous physicals with the sign of Yahweh's name upon their third eye shall be taken up from their fields. The light will probe the face of the earth and will pick up the vibratory light crystals of the Christ's blood coated upon the doorposts of the body temple of Gematria. And this was, I think, the last plague in Exodus. The last plague in Exodus, where everything was written on the doorpost. It was written on the doorpost, and I think, oh, gosh, what was written on the doorpost? And it's talking about our body, our third eye, and they were saved, and I think Pharaoh's the firstborn of the was all killed. So this is similar to what we read in the Bible. Yeah. So only the people are vibrating at the higher frequency will be picked up. Great streaks of light will be seen in the sky over the chambers of the earth, where the righteous will be gathered. Their chambers will be located along the ancient grids. Ancient grids. Yes, this earth has a lot of grids. The ancient grid, these ancient grids used by the Brotherhood and will appear as island clusters of light in the oceans and as community centers of light upon the land. These communities will be a beacon of light and a signal of hope to all mankind during the transition of our planet. Man will suddenly see all 12 faces of his consciousness time zone spiral before him. And this is something I was thinking a couple days ago, that it says man will see, to us, we only have one face. But look at your children, even yourself sometimes. You look different sometimes. You look different sometimes. So I think they want us to tell us that nothing changed. I think we jump timeline often. And as this is telling us, I saw this last night, it just um convinced me. It says we have 12 faces. We use 12 different faces during our incarnation. But it's probably so similar that we don't even realize it. And I know we jump timelines. We do not stay the same person, the same place. Everything is energy consciousness. When our consciousness move, wherever our consciousness goes, our bodies goes. And these people in control knows how to move our consciousness with the grids, with the they probably use the earth grids, but they use the Wi-Fi things and transfer consciousness for some reason or another. So it's so possible every time we jump consciousness, we have a different look to ourselves. And I really think we do. So these communities will be a beacon of light and a signal of hope to all mankind during the transition of our planet. Man will suddenly see all 12 faces of his consciousness, time zones spiral before him, and he will understand, oh, he is a microcosm which will ascend into the Father's light universe through the living light. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Man will quickly see how the universal mind uses the stars as a crystalline staircase for continuous transplanting of membrane within membrane, eye within eye, crystalline system within crystalline system. Just as there are islands of light in space, the biosatellite wheels the biosatellite wheels connect islands of galactic civilization with one another and qualify participants in the unified galactic society to move to new levels of the collab. And I think the collab is the great central sun, the great central sun. Those who will be delivered directly from the face of the earth will be taken through crystalline so the earth will be taken from the face of the earth will be taken through the crystalline staircase that corresponds to the Christ crystal within their body, within their body, within their body vehicle are bioorganisms which make continuous repair to the exterior covering. No, that's not it. Carry, so we're at 39. Carry autonomous day and night environments, which are created by their unique environmental architectures. No, I did that already. I read that already. I remember reading that. That's just where I'm at. Uh, Christ crystal within their body, a physical form. The next ordering of the higher evolution shall compromise those who will be known as the firstborn generation, as they will be sealed in the image of the phoenix, for they wore the physical body of the Christ during their resurrection. The firstborn generation will be able to explore the horizon of space, not only through space vehicles, but through collective biolocation. So those were taken from Earth, and they got the firstborn, killing of the firstborn. Oh, what's that about? Mm. Was that? I think that was Exodus. Yeah. No, that was the last plague, the killing of the firstborn. Horizon space. Yeah, so children who were born on those, the first generation, man will understand the meaning of crystal obelisk and astrophysical pyramidal observations, where he will take his place as a co-citizens of the heaven. The firstborn will use the Ark of the Covenant to join the various star intelligences serving the glorious I Am appearance of Yahweh's majesty. The initiates from the earth will know that Yahweh has removed the veil of the lower heaven, and his name will be on every city and island of light. And the name of the city from that day on will be Yahweh himself is here. O Creator, King, and Redeemer, praised be thy name forever. Creator of the whole light beings who stand in the heights of the universe and proclaim with us in unison the words of living God and everlasting King. Holy is he. Yep, that's it. That's it for my reading today. And this is just looking at the upcoming Exodus and what we have to look forward to. What we have to look forward to. What's coming, it seems. I know if you hear me say today that we are not evolving. If you hear me say that, you'll be like, what? We are technological. We've been to the moon. We're not. We're not living as who we truly are, divine beings. We're supposed to be here to create and learn, and we are most of us. So the call has gone out to the universe. And as we hear today in this reading that there are more non-Adamic beings, meaning more. I've been thinking that more people who are not natural here than those who are natural, and that's what's causing the imbalance. So they have to save the natural people from this earth. So they have made clones. They have made clones with AI, you know, full Adamic beings are in the minority in this earth right now. So let that sink in. Let that sink in. All right, everyone. Thank you. If you have joined me, thank you always. Thank you for the support. Always. And if you watch this now or you'll be watching this later, be blessed, everyone. Know who you are as we're going into a beautiful time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. So there's no reason to be afraid. Just know who you are. Don't look outside yourself for help. Don't look for outside yourself for help from no one. Know that song that we used to sing in church, You Dare Not Trust Your Own? That's where we're at. And another thing that we used to hear in church growing up is discern. Learn to discern, discern, discern. If it doesn't make sense to you, even if it makes sense to other people, if it doesn't make sense to you, it's not truth. Know who you are. Know thyself. All right, everyone. Be blessed.